Welcome to the Felons Uprising live stream. Hey, today what I'm sharing is the Think and Grow Rich mastermind call from earlier this morning. Every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, we get together and study books like Think and Grow Rich. We're just so happen to be studying pages 139 through 144 of the Think and Grow Rich book. So, without a further ado, I'm going to let the team of the Think and Grow Rich Mastermind take it away. It's just a little short delay, my friends. Just a little short delay. Matter of fact, go ahead and move it up.
Good morning, and welcome.
Morning, ladies. Bill in Tucson.
Good morning, Bill. How are you? Welcome.
Welcome.
Who else do we have from St. Louis? Where we're calling in from?
Simone from St. Louis.
Good morning from St. Louis. Welcome. Glad you're here. Good morning, Arnita. Welcome. Who else do we have out here? We've got Bill. We've got Booker. We have Elizabeth, our Mama Elizabeth. See, Rita.
Happy rising. Never give up. Happy rising to you all.
There you are. I knew you all were here. Good morning. So good morning. Voices. Wonderful. And there's Chrissy. Love it. Even Sherry. I'm so happy to see all of you. Welcome. Who else do we have out there? I love this special crew. Getting in.
Peter.
Start.
Boy, I'm excited.
Yes, Peter. You just got in. Thank you. So rare and true. Away, Katie. Thank you.
All right, you can hear me okay?
I can
Start
hear
my
you
morning
okay.
with this call every morning. 712-432-0900. Access code 565762. Hashtag.
Support. Appreciate you for starting this call every single morning, and it's always lovely to hear your voice and getting people riled up and excited. Hey, this is Katie Stage here, and I want to thank you, my Think and Grow Rich family, for giving me the opportunity to share with you this morning, and which our vision here is to inspire freedom through principle-centered leadership, where we meet daily, Monday through Friday, to study and mastermind the laws of success. So before I unmute the lines, could everyone listening here on this call, whether it's on live right now or on the replay, just straighten your back up, lift that chin up a bit, place your hands in the middle of your chest, and take a big, deep breath in, and just let it out. And we can thank God or our higher power for opening our eyes this morning and giving us another chance to change someone's life today. And I'm going to unmute the lines and we can project that gratitude up and up. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Love it. You guys sound so great this morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So at this portion of the call, I am going to invite Rita Joy to come out and lead us through the major definite purpose. We have, thank Hyacinth for posting it in the group where people are saying, hey, I'll go ahead and read it out today. And it's in that our Tager Facebook group. If you're not part of that group, then we can definitely let you in there. So go ahead, Rita Joy, if you're there.
Hi, I'm here, and I'm
Good morning.
so great. Hi, Katie. Thank you. I said, let me get on here on this happy hump day with my fellow fearless female tagger sister, and here I go. Okay. My major definite purpose by the day of 2000, and I will have in my possession, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I am following that plan as it is received. Self-confidence formula. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of even more self-confidence. I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop endeavoring until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage only in transactions that benefit all whom they affect. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity. Because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud at least once a day, with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become an even more self-reliant and successful person. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rita Joy. So let's all express how much we believe in Rita Joy and how much we love her, and unmute the lines.
Thank you, Rita Joy. We believe in you. You're awesome.
Love you.
Awesome. What a bunch of lovely groups that we have here. Lovely people. Thank you so much. And we love you, Rita Joy. And a couple announcements before I share some thoughts this morning and before I go in, and then we go reading into the book and then we do the mastermind portion of the call. But the announcements, we do have a book of the month. Last week when I was doing it, I didn't realize it was already the new month. So in my notes, I had the last month's book out. But now we're doing, this month is the No BS Direct Marketing by the late Dan S. Kennedy. And the negative character attribute of this month is vanity. It's just something to think about. So, basically, what I wanted to share this morning is, my wish, my wish for everyone listening on this call is to have success in their life and in their business. So that, you wouldn't dream about success, that you wouldn't talk about when you have success, like when is it going to happen, right? Or that you wouldn't be stuck in the prepare mode, but actually experience fully each moment and every day, knowing that what you are destined to do with your life has been worth all of the challenges and the setbacks. Every single day we are given an opportunity. Either God or the universe gives us ideas and we're supposed to do something with them, inspiration, right? There's certain people that show up in our lives to help us get to where we need to be. And it's our job to recognize it and then do something about it. So everyone listening on this call today, you have a list of dreams, hopes, desires, things that you want to do before life passes you by and are left with sitting on the front porch in the rocking chair of life wondering, what if? So what is it that you want? What do you want to do? Or would you like to go skydiving? Would you like to go Rocky Mountain climbing? Would you want to ride a bull named Fu Manchu? Is me singing that song on your list of things that you want to pencil in and check off right now? Or maybe it's, please, for the love of everything that is holy, do not allow Katie to sing on this call or ever. But seriously though, what is on your list of things that you want to accomplish? Is it to get on your company leaderboard? Is it to make a certain amount of money each month so you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck? Or in some cases, you might be in a good place right now, but living commission check to commission check and want to scale it up. Yet here's the number one problem when it comes to taking a goal and making it a reality for most people is that there's this overwhelming sense of, being overwhelmed, which causes procrastination. We have things that we want to do, we have things that we know we should do, and there's things that we want to, we want to know that we want to say, but nothing is getting done because what? There's just too many options. But what if? Now let's just play along for me a moment, okay? You're going to love this. What if we all found out today that we all had exactly 30 days to get a strategy into play, whether that's to talk to more people or to get the blog or website done or upload those videos, or you don't do anything, you're going to be banned from this industry forever. I know you didn't want me to go there, but here we are, so let's just play along. So what if we all had 30 days to do the important task or you're banned for life? So let me just ask you this. Would your priorities change? Would you have a greater sense of what strategy that you would want to take on in getting things accomplished? And to answer this in my best Jim Rohn voice, of course! Of course you would, right? Of course you would. So I want to challenge you today, get laser focused and have an idea of what you will be doing to get the results in your business so you can live the life that you want. And there's no doubt we all have, a limited amount of time during the day. I get that. Me being here with family has been a little bit tough, but as we talked about before, and I talked about this before on the call, and shout out to Derek Nelson within this community, we talked about the nook and crannies. Find the time. You find the time. In fact, most people, what happens is that we allow either life to get in the way Or some people think that they get their stinking thinking to tell them that they can't, and they don't make it to their first commission. Maybe they don't even see their first whatever it is, or their first lead, right? And what I'm going to say next is what every successful leader in any industry, yes, even yours, says to those people who are feeling stuck. You ready? There's no such thing as overnight success. Everyone starts from zero. So I was on this call with this woman last week, and we went through. She said before I got on the call, I kind of knew her. I got an email from her, so she went through all the training. She followed along with what the training was, the exact steps. But she reached out because she was still stuck. She didn't know where to go. You know why? Because she allowed. Well, one of her thing was she allowed her age to be an excuse that she can't overcome technology. So everybody has a specific story. There's something that's holding us back, and we got to figure out what that is. And you want to know what I told her? That my dad, shout out to Dad, I'm waving at him right now. He's waving back. He's just on the other side of the RV from me. My dad, who, he when he got in, just into his 60s, he got a smartphone before I did. I finally got mine in 2015. I started my online business in 2013. So I went for almost 2 years without a smartphone in the years where most people my age already have gone through a dozen smartphones. And you know what's funny is that from day one, I was hearing stories after stories after success stories of people who have accomplished more without technology than we have today. Isn't that interesting? So talking to her about that, it made her feel really good, and she felt overwhelmed, so I gave her one simple strategy to go ahead and do, get something done so she can check that off her list. Check it off her list. But many people, they give up and live life of regrets and what ifs, which is unfortunate. But none of us want to do that. So what can we do if we only had 30 days to do the most important task or be banned for life? How do we get there? Simply put, you take self-first strategy training that you can get your hands on. And I'm pretty sure most of you on this call have a library full of them or access to some. Right? Focus on that one strategy and implement it until you get a result. And the real culprit here is not that you don't know enough or you don't have access to the latest and greatest technology. The real culprit here is when we start to think that we're not good enough, or we don't know enough, or we're too young, too old, too blonde, too short, whatever it is, or that we seem to have this hard time finding the time to get those important, tedious, annoying, frustrating tasks done. But what if it's just that one thing that you do today that will cause a chain reaction where everything right starts to happen tomorrow? So that's when you realize, I want you to realize is the most dangerous day of the week. You want to know what that is? Not Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, it's not Thursday, it's not Friday, it's not Saturday, it's not Sunday. You want to know what day it is? The most dangerous day of the week is tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to write that blog post. Tomorrow, I'm going to send those messages. Tomorrow, I'm going to start my YouTube channel. Tomorrow, I'm going to get on Facebook Live. Tomorrow, I'm going to start being consistent. Tomorrow, I'm gonna. Fill in the blank. Just like you've always done thus far until today. So again, what if you had exactly 30 days to do the most important tasks? Or you'll be banned for life. Something to think about. Something maybe you want to share with, in the mastermind portion of the call in the 30 minutes on the hour. But when I open up the lines, we can discuss something that you can share your thoughts. Maybe help someone along. Maybe you overcame the stuckness, right? To help people get unstuck, and you want to share that, that's fine. That's awesome. I would love to hear from you. And I love hearing from every single one of you during the mastermind portion of the call because I'm always learning something new when you speak and share. And I think everybody else can say the same. So we appreciate you when you do that. So that's enough about, enough from me. Hopefully that inspired you to take action and things like that. But we're going to read from the Think and Grow Rich book, and you can find that PDF
Y'all
download
can
at
feel free to
growrichaudios.com.
comment
You can click on that. It opens
in
up right
the
to a
chat
PDF
section
file.
there.
I bookmark it so I can always have it on hand. And so we are on the half portion, the bottom of the page of 139, where this is going to be pretty interesting. I love what Mike was saying yesterday about most people go to college and they have no clue what they want to go for. So that's, when you ask somebody, what are you going to go, hey, you're in college, what are you going to, what are you going to college for? Well, I'm just getting my generals down. I got that question, or that answer too, when I asked that question. And it made me not want to go to college until I knew what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I still don't know. I mean, I do now, kind of, but no college is going to help me out as far as I know. But, I love doing what I'm doing right now, and that is my college, is these trainings and these strategies that I choose to help me get results, and that's what I do. So right at the half portion, there's a bold thing that says apprenticeship proposed, and I'm going to continue with the reading, and then at the half, I'm going to open up the lines and we can have some discussions. So, all right. So proposing a system of apprenticing students in office, stores, and industrial occupations during the summer vacation, Mr. Moore asserts that after the first 2 or 3 years of college, every student should be asked to choose a definite future course and to call a halt if he has been merely pleasantly drifting without purpose through an unspecialized academic curriculum. Colleges and universities must face the practical consideration that all professionals and occupations now demand specialists, urging that educational institutions accept more direct responsibility for vocational guidance. One of the most reliable and practical source of knowledge available to those who need specialized schooling is the night schools operated in most large cities. Those correspondence schools give specialized training anywhere in the U.S., anywhere the U.S. males go, on all subjects that can be taught by the extension method. An advantage of home study training is the flexibility of study program, which permits one to study during spare time. Another stupendous advantage of home study training is the fact that most courses offered by home study courses carry with the generous privileges of consultation, which can be of a priceless value of those needing specialized knowledge. No matter where you live, you can share the benefits. Anything acquired without effort and without cost is generally unappreciated, often discredited. Perhaps this is why we get so little from our marvelous opportunity in public schools. The self-discipline one receives from the definite program of specialized study makes up the same extent for the wasted opportunity when knowledge was available without cost. Correspondence schools and online academics are highly organized business institutions. Their fees are so low that they are forced to insist upon prompt payment. Being asked to pay whether the student makes good grades or poor has the effect of causing one to follow through with the course when he or she would otherwise drop it. Kind of reminds me of like when we go to the gym, like everybody's going to be going to the gym starting January, and we pay for it, we're obligated to go, right? Because we're paying for it. So the schools have not stressed this point sufficiently, for the truth is that their collection departments constitute the very finest sort of training on decision, promptness, action, and the habit of finishing that which one begins. I learned this from experience more than 25 years ago. I enrolled for a home study course in advertising. After completing 8 or 10 lessons, I stopped studying, but the school did not stop sending bills. Moreover, it insisted upon payment whether I kept up my studies or not. I decided that if I had to pay for the course, which I had legally obligated myself to do, I should complete the lessons and get my month's worth. That kind of, side note here, kind of reminds me of when I was a process server. I served on legal debt for those who fell on payments on their credit cards. So they were obligated. They signed the papers, and I just remember thinking about that, going up to the door, and they're kind of upset seeing me. I'm like, kind of knew this was coming. You agreed to make the payment. You're obligated. So, anyways, I got out of that line of work because it was kind of, it just didn't make me feel good. I'm like, I feel bad. But anyways, I should complete the lessons and get my money's worth. So I felt at the time that collection systems of the school was somewhat too well organized. But I learned later that it was a valuable part of my training for which no charge had been made. Being forced to pay, I went ahead and completed the course. Later in life, I discovered that the efficient collection system of that school had been worth much in the form of money earned because of the training and advertise I had so reluctantly taken. We had in this country what is said to be the greatest public school system in the world. We have invested fabulous sums for fine buildings. We have provided convenient transportation for children living in the rural districts so they may attend the best schools, but there is one astounding weakness in this marvelous system. It is free. One of the strangest things about human beings is that they value only that which has a price. So the free schools of America and the public school libraries do not impress people because they are free. That's interesting. So this is a major reason why so many people find it necessary to acquire additional training after they quit school to go to work. It is also one of the major reasons why employers give greater consideration to employees who take home study courses. They have learned from experience that any person who has the ambition to give up a part of his spare time to study at home has in him those qualities which make for leadership. This recognition is not a charitable gesture. It is sound business judgment upon the part of the employers. So there is one weakness in people for which there is no remedy. It is the universe weakness of lack of ambition. Amen. Hallelujah. Then they're done that. So persons, especially salaried people who suggest their spare time to provide for home study, seldom remain at the bottom very long. Their actions open the way for upward climb, removes any obstacles from their path, and gains the friendly interest of those who have the power to put them in a way of opportunity. The home study method of training is especially suited for the needs of employed people who find after leaving school that they must acquire additional specialized knowledge but cannot spare the time to go back to school. The changed economic conditions prevailing since the Depression have made it necessary for thousands of people to find additional or new sources of income. For the majority of these, the solution to their problem may be found only by acquiring specialized knowledge. Many will be forced to change their occupations entirely. When the merchants find that a certain line of merchandise is not selling, he usually supplements it with another that is in demand. The person whose business that is marketing personal service must also be efficient merchant. If his or her services do not bring adequate returns in the occupation, there must be a change to another where broader opportunities are available. And that kind of reminds me of, how the marketplace, even in our industry, in the online industry, the home industry, home-based business industry, is that, the market's always changing. The way people absorb information is always changing, and the way we communicate is always changing. So it's always a good idea to kind of stay ahead of that curve a little bit and kind of recognize where it's changing. And sometimes you feel like you're setting that course to that change. Like, shout out again to Derek Nelson, is that we had a chat on a Zoom the other day, and this was a couple weeks ago, I believe. But we talked about the difference between old school and new school marketing. The way we, not really necessarily marketing, but the way we prospect. Like the way Paul Hutchings, he talks about how he approaches people in just a matter-of-fact way, and the way he approaches people is just feels old school, and it works. And then you can do the new school, and you can merge the two, and I think that's where it's going. So reading on is that Stuart Austin Weir prepared himself as a construction engineer and followed this line of work until the Depression limited his market to where it did not give him the income he required. He took inventory of himself, decided to change his profession to law, went back to school, and took special courses by which he prepared himself as a corporation lawyer. Despite the fact that the Depression had not ended, he completed his training, passed the bar exam, and quickly built a lucrative law practice in Dallas, Texas. In fact, he is turning away clients. I mean, that is a problem I'd like to have. Actually, sometimes I do. It's like, yeah, I don't want to work with you. Bye. All right. So just to keep the record straight and to anticipate the alibis of those who will say, I couldn't go to school because I have family to support or I'm too old. Hey, does that sound familiar? And I will add information that Mr. Weir had passed 40 and married when he went back to school. Moreover, by carefully selecting highly specialized courses in colleges best prepared to teach the subject chosen, Mr. Weir completed in 2 years the work for which the majority of the law students require 4 years. It pays, this is all in capital letters, it pays to know how to purchase knowledge. The person who stops studying merely because he has finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity, no matter what may be his calling. The way of success is a way of continuous pursuit of knowledge. If you're not learning something every day, then there's a problem. So let us consider a specific instance that during the Depression, a salesman in the grocery store found himself without a position, having some bookkeeping experience. You know, I'm actually just kind of reading this. I wonder if this is a whole story. Maybe we can start tomorrow before we get into more of the reading, because now, so yeah, we'll just do that. So bottom of page 144, we can talk about the salesman at the grocery store, and he found himself without a position. So that'll be exciting to learn tomorrow. So what I'm going to do for right now is I am going to open the lines for the mastermind portion of the call, where I would encourage anybody who has something that they would like to share and just hit the *6 to come out. But before I do that, let's just remember that this is a non-company specific call, and to please not mention any company names, system names, or leader names unless the leaders are a part of this community. Let me just put it in the right mode. All right, so you can hit *6 and come on out. I'd like to be first. I think I got it in the right mode. Bueller? Katie Stage! Hey, what's up, holidays?
I don't want to leave you hanging. Good to hear you today. Thank you so much for your great service. By the way, you sound very clear, like you're lying, and your voice is really great. So, did you get like a new mic or?
No, I got a head cold. Thank you, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that works.
I changed the volume. I changed the volume too, so I just testing it out and making it better. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, I just loved everything. I loved how you were talking about, this morning what you want. I love the song that you quoted, The Bull Named Fu Manchu. I was singing that all the way down the driveway. My goodness, when you threw that out. Yeah, I wanted to just jump out and share real quick a post I made in the group this morning. I had this interesting observation the other morning when I was reviewing the Bible, the Old Testament specifically, and in chapter 1. So check this out. So this is like the first book of the Christian Bible. It's chapter 1, verse 1. So you could say 111, right? And what it says is in the beginning, God created, and then it goes on and says the heaven and the earth, right? But in the beginning, God created, and before that, the earth was without form and void. And I'd never noticed before that right there, it seems to be saying definite purpose, creation, and that without that, our lives can be without that, our lives can be like, like the earth without form and void. And then there's the other line in the Bible that we hear where it says, without vision, the people perish. And I was just thinking about how sometimes in life, if I find myself, unmotivated or in a funk, whether it's because I've lost faith in the vision that I had, or whether it's because maybe I achieved the vision that I had, and I don't have a new one, that's kind of how I can feel, like without form and void. And usually the solution is to recreate a strong vision, a strong purpose. So I just wanted to throw that out as food for thought, just going back to what you were saying in the beginning, answering those questions. What do you want? What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your income to look like? What do you want your lifestyle to look like? What do you want your business to look like? What are the things you want to do? What are the places you want to go? What do you want your home to be like? What do you want that to look like? What do you want your debt or lack of debt situation to look like? And just be very clear. And I think that can just really help a lot, in our happiness and in our pursuit and, creating the lives that we want. So that's it. I just want to throw that out there, and appreciate you and all that you do and everyone here for doing the best that we can to keep dreams alive, And then I guess that's the last thing that I would say is, as I think back over my experience of going through this process, by no means has it ever been perfect, and it seems like the pattern is more important than perfection in setting a goal or setting a vision. Because when I look back over my journey, there definitely has not been perfection, but what there has been is a pattern of continually going back to that vision, recreating the vision, setting forth on the vision again, getting closer, creating some of it, falling down, and then going back and recreating it again and setting on the path again. And that pattern, I feel, has produced really great results on my freedom journey. So that's it. Thanks for letting me share. Back to you.
Thank you, Paul. And that pattern sounds all so familiar, definitely. So appreciate you for sharing those thoughts. Star 6, who's next?
Hey, Katie, it's Bill Moise.
Hey, Bill. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing awesome. Great job today. I apologize for the background noise. I'm at the car wash, but you said a couple things that stirred some interest in me. But first off, a little humor. My son and his wife are celebrating their first anniversary. So I bought him an anniversary card, and on it is a couple walking hand in hand. And the lady says, "Do I look fat?" The man says, "Do I look stupid?"
That's great.
I love that one. Some questions are best left unanswered, So, at any rate, you mentioned about education, and I think I have a handle on what the problem with education is. I heard Steve Forbes speak this spring, and he talked about education, and he basically said higher education is overrated, it's too expensive, and going straight from high school to college and taking on, $120,000 of debt is not always the best program, because there's lots of ways to get education besides going straight through college. So here's what I believe that what's it's fundamental. I would call it a systemic flaw in education, and what that is that education is controlled by educated people who have never done it before. My brother is the financial executive for a technical college in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And technical college is a school where you get out, you can actually do something. Those kids start out at $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year with a 2-year program, but they're taught by people who actually can do something. However, they do have PhDs there that teach. He said they're the real problem. And he said the reason the problem is what they're trying to do is not necessarily teach the kids to actually do anything. Their goal is to build a big department. Because the bigger department, the more teachers you have, the more power you have. And so that's where universities are run. It's not about getting you a training that's really useful, generally speaking. It's to build a department. So, for example, at his university that's in that town, their biggest single program is is political science. Well, I've never seen a want ad for someone with a political science degree. So my brother struggles with that every time they have a new budget because they want to grow their programs, and they're actually trying to teach these kids a skill set. So, so I would suggest. So what they do is, even though they're not teaching any real world skills, generally speaking, I'm not thinking in a broad sense, they still tell you have to have a college degree. Our parents are told that when we're young, your kids have to have a college degree. And they say, if you have a master's degree, it makes so many $1,000s. If you have a PhD, it's so many $1,000s. And if you didn't have a high school diploma, it's much less. So our parents are brainwashed by the educrats because they're trying to fill their department so they can have their position of power without any real thought of what should I study, what am I interested in, what will actually be a skill that I can use in the real world. So, at any rate, back to you, Katie. Good job today. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for sharing those thoughts. Star 6 would like to come out.
Good morning, Katie. It's Jessie.
Good morning, Jessie.
Doing an amazing job. I just love to listen to you talk about your stories and express some of the knowledge and wisdom that you have. It's just terrific, and it stirred up a couple of things, so I do want to get to that. But Bill, you had a cute card, and my husband gave me a card that was somewhat similar, and I just wanted to share because I just got a chuckle out of it, and I thought I'd share it with the family. The front of the card has these two little kids holding hands, and the one says, "You're amazing," and she says, "I know." And inside it says, "I'm so glad we agree on the important stuff." So I just love that. We give each other a couple of cards, or two or three, because we can't quite find the one card that has the humor and the seriousness and the romantic side of it. So we just do it that way. We love it. Anyway, what I wanted to say was you talked about, kind of the new school, the old school of marketing, and there definitely is a huge difference. And many people kind of get stuck or told kind of the old way, which, is, to get a list, talk to your friends and family, and then, you cut your friends off every other day. But the new way is, well, it's not unfortunate. I should never say that. It's unfortunate that people see this as something that gets them stuck, as this woman did that you were talking about, because they think that they can't do it. And what I'm finding for my experience is, if you explain that it isn't so difficult, it is the faster way, the broader way to reach more people, and so on, they begin to see the picture. And like you did, which is huge for people not to stay overwhelmed, is just give them one step. Do this for the next day or two, or maybe if it's a week. I don't know how long it might take certain people to do certain steps. And that's all you're responsible for. And then we'll do the next step the next week. For myself, I have found, because I have found myself in overwhelm mode when there's just so much information. That's the other part of the new school. We have so much information. We don't know in what direction to go many times. The best way is you have a roadmap, and you just mark it out and take one step at a time. That will underwhelm you very quickly and hopefully get you to your next steps. And I just wanted to mention that because we all need to be much more open and flexible, because times change. None of us are usually excited about change, but change is good for all of us because that means we're growing. So I just wanted to share some of those things. And back to you, Katie.
Thank you for sharing all of that, Jessie. You're absolutely right. It's just taking that one step at a time. And trying to focus on the moment of what's happening now and figuring out the problem that we have, that first thing that we can do to solve that problem, and what can we do in this moment to move forward. So I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Star 6, who would like to come out next?
Well, Elizabeth, how are you, Katie?
Hi, Mama Elizabeth. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful today. I know I'm thinking like many of you do where you were this time several years ago, and just being thankful that we're here and praying for the families that had people that lost loved ones during that day. I remember I was a teacher at that time in the school, and I was coming to school that morning, and right there in Washington D.C. And there, everybody had the TV on. Everybody was glued to the TV, didn't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden, we all saw that horrendous sight. And children started crying. And because many of the children had parents that worked at the Pentagon. And it just went on. But anyhow, just remembering those things, but also how blessed and favored, how highly favored we are to be alive today, be able to be on a call like the Think and Grow Rich Mastermind call, and to have great people come out that are on this call and that lead this call. Is so thankful. Believe it or not, my oldest son's anniversary is on 9/11, so he always remembers it, and I remember the good things there. But thinking about what you said about if you had 30 days, only 30 days to get something together, what would you do in your bucket list or whatever? And every day is important to me, and I think about if you had 30 days, then things were going to definitely change. If you didn't make the change, and what would you do? And I know one thing I would say, I'd have to get my list together. What's the most important thing I've got to do in getting things in order? So there comes a time when all of us have to do a bucket list, even though we're not really ready for that bucket list. And I just think about how some people live their lives, and we all should be able to live our lives the way we want to live them, and have the freedom to do the things we want to do when we want to do them. And I just I'm just so thankful for so many of you that share your little bucket list successes online, and just think about Jesse went to see the Temptations, and I just thought about how great that was, and I was going to college, slipping away from college to see the Temptations when I was a young girl in college when they were first coming out. But what a great day this is, and what a great time to be thankful and to get our house in order. And the reason I say that, get the house in order, because it doesn't matter how old you are. Don't think you've got a whole lot of time, because none of us know. None of us know when that time is going to be over. So do what you can while you can, and make as much happiness as you can to leave something for your families when you're gone. So love you, Katie. I just wanted to share that as one of the old timers on the call. Love you.
Love you more, Mama Elizabeth. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Star 6, who would like to come out?
It's Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Boy, am I excited.
And then Pat.
You're doing an awesome job as always, but I want to share my 9/11 experience. I have a cousin that worked in one of the buildings adjacent to the Twin Towers, and they were standing watching the incident, and she looked over to her assistant, and she had tears rolling down her cheeks. And she asked her what's wrong. She said her father was in those buildings. And so they stood there and watched the buildings crumble with it, knowing that her father was in there. But prayers do go out to everybody that lost loved ones and all the tragedies that happened with the 9/11. But I want to comment on the reading that's during Napoleon Hill talks about the mail order courses, and along with what Bill said, college leaves a lot of void to real life deals. But we have access, to the internet that has just endless information at our fingertips, and I believe it's like the library. 90% of it is free, and it's there for our reading, or for there's tons of videos. And each one of us, you do a tremendous amount of training videos that are just at our fingertips, and we don't take advantage of them, but a lot of us do. And I know I spend a lot of my time researching and learning from the internet, and we have that at our fingertips today. But anyway, that's my thoughts for the day. We just need to take care of, and it's amazing, this group, that we encourage each other in our readings here and just in our studies, but we're constantly growing, and I believe that we're a unique group that's taking advantage of all the, we don't just ignore the free assets that are and the paid ones, but we take advantage of all this, and we're all raising each other. Anyway, love you guys so much. Back to you.
Appreciate you, Peter. And being a content marketer myself, it's putting information out there in hopes that it will help, something, different. I know that I create some of the overwhelmness too, because I have so many varieties of things that I put out there, but it's just to cater to those who like my particular style of teaching, and hopefully something will click to help them move forward. So I understand that I am a part of that overwhelmness. So appreciate you, Peter. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. All right, Paz, go ahead and come out and share.
Good morning, Kate.
Good morning. I'm super fantastic. How are you?
I'm always blessed and highly favored. 9/11, my 9/11 experience was different. Most of my family still in New York. I had just left New York. I had moved to Pennsylvania. And I got a phone call from my mom that my brother-in-law at the time had decided that he was going to take my nephew to work with him. He actually worked in one of the towers. My brother-in-law, for some reason, got hungry. He always eats breakfast before he leaves the house. For some reason, he got super hungry and decided to leave his office. By the time he walked out of the deli, buildings were coming down. He watched 130 of his co-workers die. He went from middle management to senior management overnight because everyone went down in the building. And I spent hours nerve-wracking, not knowing where my nephew was, not knowing what my brother-in-law was doing, because you couldn't even call into New York because everybody was calling into. So I say that to say 9/11 was a bad day for most of America. But if you look, there's still a few people that found some kind of blessing in 9/11. Now, I want to go back to what you said. If I had 30 days, if I can do anything in 30 days, I would take my first day, and if I had any bit of money, I'd take a flight and get as close to my mentor as possible. And I would follow everything they did for 30 days. Success leaves clues. I would ask as many questions as I could from my mentors, so that I can make sure that not only am I following, but I understand what they're doing, so that I can master my message, so that I can be most effective. I don't do as much content marketing as I used to. I do a lot of stuff now, basically on word of mouth, but that word of mouth started by me being willing to ask the questions most were afraid to ask, do the things most were afraid to do, and more importantly, serve where people were unwilling to serve. If you want to ask your mentor for any help, if you want to get anyone to help you, the first thing you should do is ask, how can you help them? That's my thoughts. Love you guys.
Great points you made there, Paz. And a mentor, there's something really different between getting on YouTube and Google and finding things versus having a mentor that could actually give you feedback and you can ask questions to. And mastermind with, which is super important. I think you're a smart dude for getting as close to your mentor as humanly possible. That's awesome. Love that. Star 6 who would like to come out and share?
Donna from Michigan.
Hello, Donna.
Oh, thank you so much, Katie, for being there. You are such an inspiration to me, and I'm counting you as one of my teachers. I think the most important thing that I heard this morning, especially after just reading a book called Eat That Frog, which was about procrastination, when you said that tomorrow is the most dangerous day of the week. And I always hear a voice behind my teachers who are before me, and I heard someday is the most dangerous day of the week. Someday I'll do it, or one day I'll do it. So I am definitely going to be using this bit of information on my next live video that I do, because procrastination is definitely something that I used to struggle with. It's easier now. I just get up and I eat that frog and do what I have to do. So until next time, be well, live free, and prosper.
Appreciate you, Donna. Thank you so much. Star 6
Hey, Kitty Stage.
Yes.
I'm gonna jump out one more time if that's okay.
That's okay. No, you can't.
I had a couple. Dang it! All right. I had a couple home business related thoughts that were bubbling up. Yesterday, one of the things Mike Hobbs talked about is he talked about giving people what they want, and how good marketing is when you sell the things that people really want to the people who really want them. And your discussion this morning a little bit about what is it that you want. One of the reasons I love home business is because it's a path for all of us to create the lifestyle that we want. And one of the greatest things I think we can realize is that when we're promoting some sort of business opportunity, we are not necessarily promoting the product or the comp plan. Yes, we are, but really what we're promoting is the opportunity to give someone what they really want. And if we understand that, we will be infinitely more successful in promoting whatever it is that we want to promote. That's just a really great thing to keep in mind. And one of the reasons that sometimes home business comes under criticism is because people will look at that and they'll be like, well, you're kind of like, you could be selling, empty promises, because not everyone goes out and, does what they say they're going to do. Not everyone goes out and achieves the life of their dreams. And so sometimes home business comes under criticism because they say you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't sell opportunity. You shouldn't, position something as a way to help someone build their dream lifestyle. But the opposite of that is, okay, well, then what do? We say, okay, people's dreams can't come true. We won't talk about that. We won't talk about how you can build a better life for yourself. For me, that's not an option. I believe we all can create better lives for ourselves, and I love the opportunity to show people a door to that better life. And at the same time, it's important to remember also that sometimes some people take advantage of that, which is another reason why some in the market don't like being able to promote, having your dreams come true, because some people will leverage that and they'll say, well, gosh, are you willing to do whatever it takes? And you're like, yeah, I want to create the life I want to create. It's like, okay, well, come spend like this ridiculous amount of money on these things I'm selling you. And they'll leverage that. And so I think we have to be conscientious about how we promote what we're promoting. Yes, we want to position what we're promoting as a way to help people achieve their goals and dreams, and we don't want to oversell it, and we also don't want to take advantage of people once we understand that that is a very, very, probably the most powerful lever in helping someone move forward is when they can see the promise of their better future, and they can see and believe that what you're presenting to them is a path forward into making that promise come into fruition. I think that's probably the most powerful lever that we can use, but we have to use it conscientiously and wisely, and with the other person's best interest in mind. So I want to throw that out there. And then the last thing, shout out to David Mokel, who sponsored 3 new customers in his business this week. And, thinking of old school, new school, one thing that I like to think is that strategies change, lead gen stuff changes, platform changes, but what I don't think changes very fast or often is human nature does not change that fast or often. In fact, Napoleon Hill in his last book, he said he's watched human nature over the however many years, throughout his life, and he says people are still going along the way they did, decades ago with the same dreams and hopes and fears and desires. And so if we understand that, we can utilize that in whatever strategies we're using to promote our businesses, and they'll be effective. And so David, I was talking to David last week, and we said, okay, there's a couple ways you can move forward. You can connect with people you're connected to, give them an invitation in an attractive way. B, you can start working on lead generation. So really, you can take the time that you have, and you can do a combination of both. Or if you want, you can focus on one, get that done, and then put all your efforts and focus on lead gen. Which sounds better for you? And he said, I think I'd like to put all my efforts on part one. I want to start connecting with people and giving invitations that I'm connected with. I said, okay, that sounds great. So he went to work and sponsored 3 new customers. So shout out to David for that, and just want to throw those thoughts out there. Thanks, Katie. Katie, are you there?
Yes, I was having issues unmuting a little bit. Thank you so much. Wonderful share. Thank you so much, Paul. And I actually wrote some amazing notes on exactly what you said. So that's why I love it when people come out here and share things, because I learn something new every single time. So I appreciate you, Paul. Thank you. Star 6, 2 minutes. Yes, who's this? Hello, who's that?
This is Christian.
Hey, Christian. Yep, we can hear you.
Awesome. I just wanted to talk real quick. I know we don't have a lot of time. And I was thinking about what I was doing on this day, 9/11, and just remembering, being on the car lot at a sales meeting, and we saw it all unfold. And that was the first seed planted, knowing that I really needed to create something for myself and my family, because you just never know what type of disasters would come along that would, change my life. And then shortly after, Hurricane Katrina came. And so that was a big reminder of what I needed to do. And, my soul and my heart told me to get on higher ground and get closer. Also, like Pastor saying, to a mentor of mine at the time who was in the music. And people thought it was crazy that I would go to Dallas at that time after Hurricane Katrina, but I knew that in my heart that was my mission to stay there. Fast forward to today, some people may think it's crazy that I may be going to Las Vegas and actually living there now. But, I know my mentor is there, my ministry is there, the people that I'm learning with to create this government that we're running are there. So it's just, people don't see it now, but I know that if I just follow my heart, that things will come together. And I listened to what Bill was saying about, fake teachers, and, everyone was pushing my child to go to school. It's like once they graduated, all the family members are like, well, what college is he going to? And I'm like, I'm not sending my kid somewhere that if he doesn't know what he wants to do, I'm not just going to throw him into debt. And that was like kind of unheard of for my family to say that. But now it's making sense. And a lot of these jobs don't even prepare you for the future. I really think they should have a high school to a corporation type program going on. But anyway, you asked about the 30 days, and I want to just answer that. For a lot of people, and for my life for a while, 30 days was really 30 days. Because, and I'm shortening it up here, because, you have rent. Every 30 days, people have responsibilities. So I just encourage you, what I would do, take care of the fires. Put out whatever fires are in your house right now. Take care of the immediate things. And once you do that, then you can build and start doing what's possible and stretching out. And then once you get all together, then you start doing the impossible. Things will start really coming together. But always take care of whatever's in front of you, and don't begrudge it. Don't be like Cinderella, like, hey, I got to go clean these pots, and everybody's out partying, and they're online in Hawaii or whatever the case may be. Just do your thing and be fortunate. Don't compare, don't compete. Just live in the moment, because you're beautiful as you are, and you have all the power. Just never give up. Keep moving forward. It's going to happen. Love you.
Now that is a bow tied at the end of this call. Thank you so much, Christian. I appreciate you for sharing those thoughts. And that is the end of our call for this morning. I just wanted to thank everyone here who had shared: Christian, Donna, Paz, Peter, Mama Elizabeth, Jesse, Bill, Paul, and Rita for reading The Major Definite Purpose this morning. And to remember, you guys, just take that action. Think about those 30 days, what we could do, and definitely go for your dreams and never give up your right to be happy.
How do you make dreams come true?
It takes faith to make your dreams come true. Life has something special right here.
Wow, what a call this morning. Shout out to Katie. Thank you, Katie, for hosting that call this morning. Shout out to everyone who shared in that call this morning. Dial in, man. We go live every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. That's when you can catch the live call and participate. My prayers go out to all those families who suffered throughout the 9/11 thing. If you yourself are an ex-felon or know an ex-felon, have him visit the website. Check out the information. I'll drop that link in the description. You can download the book Think and Grow Rich, the PDF version of it, absolutely free. Find out how we are empowering ex-felons to uprise.